Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and in today's bulletin, Motorsport Park is revving up and so is Neville Mail. And we have the latest police and helicopter rescue updates. It's been a long-standing dream of local veteran racing driver, and his vision is slowly growing momentum. We spoke to Kohatu Motorsport and Adventure Park visionary Gary Adcock this week to tell us where things are at currently with this project and where to from now. Gary, what was your motivation to start the Motorsport Park?
I guess I've been involved in motorsport in the car club activities for many years, and so there's always been talk of building a track here after the beach racing was stopped in the late 1970s, and nothing ever got off the ground. A few attempts were made, but when I brought a property for forestry and farming purposes, and some of the employees of my company at the time started to ride their motorbikes and things there, the idea developed from there, really.
How far along are you along on this process?
Well, we've been working at it probably going on for 4 years now, so the RMA took 3 years of that, I suppose, to chew through the resource consents, and then the Environment Court, when the decision that was granted was appealed, but we've got over those hurdles, and I guess faced anybody with I suppose negative views of it have sort of had their opportunity in that process to put up as many blocks as they could, and we've managed to overcome those, and now we're in the process of setting the foundations in place to make it a reality.
Yeah, there was a little bit of controversy about it, so you're pretty much over those hurdles now?
Yes, yeah, we worked through all the issues that people came up with, and I think we've got solutions that will allow the park to happen and keep everybody's happy with any issues that they had.
Is it just about motorsport, or have you got something else going on out there to appeal to a wider range of people?
No, definitely only half of it's a motorsport orientated thing. The other half is an adventure park, so for all sorts of adventure activities as well. So things like luge, mountain biking, zob balls, high wires, all sorts of activities that involve more physical orientated things. Yeah, so only half the property is involved with motored activities. The other half is more physical type stuff.
How can people get on board and support you with this project?
Well, currently at the moment we're looking to prove the support in the community and the desire for the park to happen, and so we're currently having a membership drive for our incorporated society, which is open to all members of the public, and for $20 you can become an associate member and redeem vouchers from supporting businesses of over $70 worth at the moment, and that will probably grow to over 100 or two. So, it's well worthwhile to be involved. There's a lot of people in the community that are supporting it and have indicated that they're keen to do so. So we're working through that, and with that show of support in the community, then we'll be in a position to prove to both councils that it should be cemented into their long-term plans, and we're not looking for them for the major funding, but just to lock it in there for the community, so when we do go into the major fundraising mode, we'll have certainty for people that this is going to be there for 80 years plus type thing. So people can support us at the moment by going to our website, kohatupark.nz, and joining up there. There's just click on the joining here tab, and if you want to know more information about it, we are having a stall at the Nelson Motor Show in Tahuna Motor Camp this weekend, and then the weekend after, the Sunday the 22nd of February, we're having an open day between 10 and 2 p.m. up at the property. So you'll get directions from the Kohatu Flat Rock Cafe at the main highway Motueka Valley intersection. So yeah, if you want to know more, come and see us at the motor show, and check out the website or our Facebook page for directions to the open day.
It's really fantastic, and it sounds like a great thing for both cities, and we hope that all the best for your project.
Yes, thank you. Should be a huge benefit to the region. We had an economic report commissioned for the project, and that came to a conclusion that in the first 5 years of operation, with the build done, it would be worth an input to the region as a whole of $89 million, and the equivalent to 38 full-time jobs. So yes, it's certainly an economic benefit for the region. I guess, accommodation industries, motels and things would have spin-offs from creating reasons for people to come in the off seasons, I suppose, to Nelson region.
The Nelson Marlborough Rescue Helicopter Week kicked off with a call out to a 17-year-old Golden Bay man who had to be flown to Wellington Hospital Emergency Department in a stable condition after sustaining a serious head injury. The teenager was airlifted on Monday by the Nelson Marlborough Rescue Helicopter after a serious fall from a quad bike. The accident happened around 10 a.m. Monday morning at a west coast beach near Mongarakau, west of Collingwood in Golden Bay. The teenager, who was riding an off-road quad-style bike with friends, lost control and was thrown several metres over rocks on the shoreline. The helicopter landed on scene where the young man was assessed and initially treated by the onboard paramedic before being airlifted to Wellington for further assessment. A police update on a wanted man, Chasey Duncan. Nelson Police are no longer looking for the former Stoke resident who we reported on last week. Nelson Police thank the public for information which has led to this man's arrest. Nelson Hospital is just one of many South Island hospitals that has to have a new hospital patient IT system. Health Minister Jonathan Coleman has announced that a new hospital patient information system will be rolled out across South Island DHBs to streamline services. Dr Coleman has said the South Island Patient Information Care System will be phased in over the next 2 to 5 years, replacing 7 existing patient administration systems. The new IT system will make the electronic transfer of patient information safer and more efficient, managing patients' appointments, admissions, discharges and transfers across all DHBs, leaving hospital staff reducing duplication, sharing resources and spending less time on administration. This will make it easier to find relevant information from other DHBs, and health professionals who move between DHBs will have only the one system to become familiar with. Canterbury will be the first to benefit from the new IT system. Nelson Marlborough DHB will adopt the system in early next year. The South Island Alliance is a collaboration of the South Island's 5 DHBs and is working with Orion Health to develop and implement the new South Island Patient Information Care System. It's not over until the Fat Lady sings, and although it's officially finished, the Adam Chamber Music Festival was a roaring success, with packed houses, ecstatic musicians, standing ovations and happy retailers. And yes, the Classical Music Festival won't be back for 2 years, but after this season's showing, the city's place on the Classical Festival circuit can only be more firmly assured. Bob Bickerton, a local musician and festival manager, said the 13th festival was the best ever. He estimates over 6,000 people attended the ticketed concerts and the free masterclasses, as well as meet the artist sessions. 50% of the festival's passes to attend all sessions were pre-sold to overseas visitors, and there was a greater proportion overall of offshore attendees than in past years. The festival is set to keep its record as giving the best return on any of the Economic Development Agency's event support investments, with restaurateurs, retailers and accommodation providers saying the late summer boost has been fantastic. Some retailers are saying it's been a better draw card for visitors to the region more than any other event, including the Rugby World Cup, with visitors buzzing about every aspect of their time in Nelson, from the festival to the food. Nelson Music Trust Chair Colleen Marshall said it has been wonderful to see the way Nelson has embraced this festival and paid tribute to the management team and volunteers for their enormous contribution to the success of this year's event. This year the festival survived the lack of air conditioning and the closure of the Nelson School of Music, and organisers are looking forward to a well overdue state-of-the-art venue for the Adam Festival in 2017. A cancelled meeting 2 weeks ago drew a large crowd of approximately 180 people, and it seemed to be a fairly clear indicator at the time that Neville Mail had the numbers of support. We caught up with Neville to see where things now stand. Neville Mail, thanks for coming in. Can you please give us a bit of an update of what's happened and a where to from now?
Thank you for the opportunity once again. Yes, well, as you know, Graham, we had the special general meeting, the meeting that the rebel group of our management committee tried to cancel. As it turned out, we had a full house at the Nelson Suburban Club, very good turnout, over 180 people came to that meeting. And of course the resolutions around trying to get beyond this impasse were discussed. I mean, just to recap, basically they were to have a vote of confidence in my presidency, to require those in the dissident group to either support that or else resign, and thirdly, the meeting gave me the authority to fill any vacancies as a result. So following that meeting, there was notice served on the 6 who in the dissident group, requiring them to follow what the special general meeting resolutions were. They have totally ignored those. So they've treated the whole thing like it didn't happen. And to me, as much as this debacle has had its surprising moments, this is probably the one that surprises me the most, because we've got the membership who are saying to this group of people, this has got to stop. This is how we want it managed. Either you support this man in his role as president or you don't. We want to move on beyond this point. Now, they've completely ignored it. They're continuing as though nothing has happened. We're now faced with the situation of, well, what happens from this point onwards? This week, I'm meeting with a representative group of the membership, because, Graham, what it's coming down to now is, as much as I've had a front foot role in trying to get this resolved, it's really now down to the membership to sort it out. They've made these decisions about how this should be addressed. They had a democratic meeting held in terms of our Constitution. Decisions were clearly made. The Constitution requires that the dissident group follow those decisions, and they've decided not to. So the membership now has to pretty much take charge of it all. So that, as president, I've done as much as I pretty much as much as I can, and it's now really for the membership to step up and take charge.
And the basis of this, of the committee, what you're calling the rebel group, is the complaints that they say are upheld against you. Are those complaints, have they been dealt with in any way apart from that committee? I mean, are we going to see these complaints come out in the open so that people can decide? Will they be brought up at the AGM?
Well, there is a possibility that if we go to the AGM, there's a re-election of all of the office holders plus the management committee. There is a possibility during the debate against the motions, of course, that someone might want to refer to aspects of my performance. In my view, the complaints are just a sideshow. I mean, it's all part of a campaign it's been all about finding ways and means of getting me out of being president of the organisation. The first attempt to have me removed as president lost because they hadn't had the legal support for that. They tried to call a special general meeting in their own right just before Christmas, 3 days before Christmas. That was cancelled with 24 hours beforehand because they didn't have the legal right to do it. And this later episode, which really is almost farcical, to cancel my membership of Nelson Grey Power 2 days before the special general meeting, which was clearly an attempt to make me a persona non grata as far as the organisation is concerned, is transparently so contrived as to be unbelievable, really, Graham. But however, that's what they've done, is they've trawled through my 2 years as president, identified things along the way where there's been disagreement around the management committee table. They've brought those forward, decided to call them complaints. Yep. And hence this this cancellation of the membership. The point I need to make here, Graham, is that every step of the change, that apart from my being elected on a mandate for change, every step along the way in that time period we're talking about, the management committee has supported the recommendations that have been made for this change to take place. So this 11th hour attempt to scuttle the whole thing comes about not just because of the aspects of change that I'm promoting, but because there is personnel that are affected by the change taking place, and that's what it boils down to. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not, to answer your question more specifically at the annual general meeting, whether they might like to be critical of things that I've done.
Yeah. We asked some people on the street their thoughts about the ongoing power struggle.
What do you feel about the Grey Power leadership struggle?
Well, I left Grey Power about 3 years ago because I didn't like the politics that they were acting in then. And now I'm quite pleased I did. I do have a supercard, which works just as well. But I do think that they really should sort it out. I mean, they might as well wait until the AGM and elect the president, whoever they wish.
I think that's very childish for grown-up people having so much trouble over something. I think that's utterly childish. That's my opinion about that.
I think they should leave him alone and let him lead. Yes, give him a chance.
I believe in the man who's been running it was doing a very good job, and a few people made it awkward.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.